I'm Cy Wakeman, and I'm the author of the book No Ego. I never intended to really be in HR. I worked as a therapist. I was on the business side of medicine, but I was often called in to work with people that were stuck, many times surgeons or physicians that were just angry at the system and angry at the mergers taking place, and they had just put a stake in the ground that they just weren't going to go forward. And it was such a loss to our organization that these brilliant physicians were choosing anger when their heart was about helping people and saving lives. And for some reason, I had a bit of a reputation as being kind of a physician whisperer. And there was a couple of weeks that we were just having really tough times with physicians. And one of the physicians I worked with was a cardiovascular surgeon who worked on tiny little baby hearts. And he would just leave bodies in the street on his way into the surgery suite and on his way back out. Yet when he was in there, when you're looking at the galley, through the galley and you're watching him, there's beautiful music playing. It was like watching the most intricate piece of artwork as he was fixing this tiny baby heart. And they said he had just been heck on wheels, and like they're thinking of firing him, and it would be such a shame for our community to lose this person, but he had left us no choice. So I said, well, I'll kind of go in and see what I can do. And I went in, and I just tried to connect with him heart to heart. And I said, I just really admire your work. And I let him know that I had done some deep listening, deep hanging out. I wasn't here just from HR, but I let him know, I've been sitting up in the galley the last couple of hours watching you work. And it's phenomenal. And it's divine. It's sacred work. And he said, and that's why I'm here for what I think is a pretty sad reason, is that your sacred work is being drowned out by your less than sacred behavior on the outside. And I said, I watched you save that child's life, and then I watched you murder the lives of so many in the lounge right afterwards. And when I was able to put it in his words, because this guy was a lifesaver, I said, you are really murdering a lot of the spirits of the adults. I said, it's so beautiful to watch you save a baby, and it's so sad for me to watch you bring so much harm to so many adults. And I just wish that you could generalize that gentleness and that carefulness and that art that you do, and use that as the same skill set that you could walk through our hallways with. And he just began to cry because no one had ever given him that information. They had talked about him behind his back, and no one had given him that information. And I just learned in those moments that if I could enter into somebody else's worlds, and my background's social work, if I can just deeply hang out with them and get into their daily existence, I can find a path to open their heart back up. And I think that's the key I learned in HR, is that when people seem to be closed-minded, go after their heart, because when the heart opens, the mind opens. And when people seem close-hearted, go after their mind. See if you can get mentally flexible, because those two are so connected. If your heart's closed, your mind's closed, and vice versa. And so I did that a lot in my role as HR, just taking people who are doing sacred work but had lost their way and reuniting them with that joy again of the work they do that's sacred.